Welcome to episode number 3 of ECITV. Coming to you in a rather peculiar way, but probably pretty common these days, I suppose, with the via a Skype feed from King Lake all the way down to Woorolly. So if we start to break up or anything, it's probably gum trees or wombats running into power poles or something.
Kookaburras eating the wires.
Yeah, something along those lines. So anyway, welcome along, and yeah, so much has happened.
Episode 3, Gazza.
Sorry, mate. Episode 3. Yeah, crazy. And I think at this stage, we're going to be looking to do an episode 4 fairly quick because there's just so much going on. Believe it or not, who would have thought that when there's no racing, there's just so much happening in the world of BMX?
Well, I guess it helps that other BMXers are looking for stuff to do, so they're quite keen to get involved. So we've got a lot of guests this time around. Yeah,
we have. We've got been fortunate enough that we've been able to connect with overseas. I've had a quick chat with John Sawyer from SSquared.
I got onto Bill Ryan from Supercross and also spoke to Bruce Morris from Lux BMX Race today.
So just to get a bit of an insight on the whole COVID-19 and how it's affecting people, and so we thought we'd probably reach out and just see if we could get a bit of industry input and just see how it is affecting different countries, different people, stores, wholesalers, suppliers, just to put everyone in the picture and just let everyone know out there in YouTube land that that everything is still operating. We are still being able to get BMX parts, and unfortunately we're just not able to use them at the moment, so which is a bit devastating, but we can still buy them. Companies are still shipping goods out on a reduced level, but stuff is still happening. So
I've noticed people are buying practice gates, putting in dirt and wooden jumps in their driveways. I'm sure that Sean from Sprint Blocks selling a lot of Sprint Blocks right now as well. So I wouldn't say we're not riding, we're just restricted.
Not riding together.
Well, yeah, that's the fun part. I really miss that. So we've got Sean Collins. We're going to introduce Sean and his Dozers dad joke battles. So that should be pretty exciting. We're going to kick that off with Max Cairns versus Olympic gold medalist Connor Fields.
Yeah, what a headline act, really, for our first dad joke battle to get some, the caliber of someone like Connor Fields, gold medalist out of America, to take on one of our Aussie-owned super flyers of Max Cairns. So that's going to be hilarious. So that'll be coming up during this episode, and we look forward to having a bit of a chuckle there, and I'm sure everyone needs a bit of a chuckle.
It'd be nice to have a laugh to break up some serious conversations. That's followed up by disc brakes versus V-brakes. So we're going to talk to Bill Ryan and Bruce Morris, or hear from them. I asked them for some comments while I was interviewing them, and maybe some of our own insights, because Gary sells disc brake hubs, rotors, adapters.
Everything. No hydraulic fluid at this stage, but everything else.
Plenty of other fluid.
Yeah, that's right. You can cut that out. So yeah, and then of course we've also got the ever famous show us your bike segment. So we've had a few entries for that this week again, and they seem to come in pretty thick and fast. So we've selected 5, I think, or 4 or 5.
There's 5, yep.
There's 5 for this episode, and so we'll go over and critique those a little bit, and let's see where that takes us.
And we should always mention that people can always contact us at ECITV.com.au. I'd ask Gary to tell us, but he never gets it right.
Just go to the website. And don't ask me what the website is. No.
Put it on the screen for you.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so yeah, moving right along. The coronavirus and how it's affecting the BMX industry.
I did notice a press release that came out today, or a news article out of one of the newspapers, that referred to Victoria's first weekend since harsher social distancing laws were implemented. We'll start with a ban on all but the most basic outdoor activities. And this one will bring a tear to Gary. So no fishing at the moment. And fortunately for the rest of us, cycling is included as one of those basic exercise activities. I find it a bit strange that cycling is included, but they've shut BMX tracks and pump tracks and all the other public BMX riding areas. Sad, but
especially when they're encouraging exercising and they shut pump tracks and bowls and everything like that. It's insane. But anyway,
it is stressed. If we don't do this, Victorians will die, and I'm sure that applies around the world.
Yeah. So, but anyway, all good. We can cry over not being able to hang out with your mates and go racing, but at the end of the day, if you can't go fishing, what's the point? Can't do anything.
You'll be fishing in your own backyard from all the tears, won't you, Gary?
Yeah, close to it. Okay, so I think what we might do, like Shane said, we've got a couple of interviews with overseas suppliers, and I think we might kick it off with Ryan from Supercross.
Bill Ryan from
Supercross, I meant to say. So what do you reckon, Shane? We'll cut over to that at the moment?
Yeah, let's hit it. All right, thanks very much, Bill Ryan, for joining us. So what, Supercross is now 5 times Pool Magazine Bike of the Year winner?
Yes, thankfully.
I'm glad I got that right this time. I don't want to get my ass kicked again.
Yeah.
I hope you're going well. Everything's going all right over there at Supercross?
Thank you, Shane. Yes, we're alive and kicking.
It seems that the US has been heavily hit by the whole COVID-19 thing. What are the current limitations and restrictions you've got in place in your area?
Well, unfortunately, we are under some pretty heavy stay-in-shelter regulations. We're supposed to be not having any groupings of more than 2 people. Obviously, if you're a family, you're allowed to be together, but you're not allowed to have anyone who is outside of your family into your home for dinner. You're not supposed to be going out with anybody who is not in your family. It's making it hard. I mean, our BMX track, Apple Valley BMX Moto Park, we've had to close down just along with every other BMX track in the entire state, and it seems like almost the entire country right now. If you've been following along with USA BMX, they've been rolling out postponements of the national series as this whole virus has been trickling along. It's been definitely different. Governor Newsom, our governor of California, has the entire state on a stay-in shelter. Los Angeles County, which luckily we're not a part of, actually set it up this morning to where if you're a non-essential business and you are caught in your business, they will actually turn off your power, turn off your water, and they will fine you $1,000 and arrest the business owner. Wow. So they are trying to take it very seriously about stay in shelter, and they're trying to stop the spread and slow the roll, as they're saying, or slow the growth, or whatever, slow the wave, or whatever definition they're trying to use.
I think it's the curve, isn't it?
Slow the curve.
That's
Yeah.
So you're still operating. Are you still able to ship everything worldwide at the moment?
Yes, we are still operating. We are on a skeleton crew. It is typically myself and one other person that's in here part-time. So we are still shipping. We are still getting everything out worldwide on a daily basis. So none of that stuff has been disrupted. So we are still shipping to Australia, still shipping to New Zealand, still shipping to England, still shipping to France, still shipping everywhere in America. We're still making sure that all of our bicycle shops across the world are taken care of, because bicycle shops, at least here in America, are still considered an essential business. It is something that is considered transportation based. And we're trying to make sure that everybody's taken care of. We're shipping lots of headsets, lots of headset spacers, lots of chains, lots of bottom brackets, lots of repair and replacement parts for everybody. So we're trying to make sure that everybody is being taken care of with everything that we can.
It's a good time for people to stock up on the consumables, isn't it? Because we don't know how long we're going to be out for.
Yeah, very true. And I also feel real blessed that a lot of our fans have been very kind to us, to where they've been stocking up on a lot of t-shirts and clothing goods as well, to where they're trying to make sure that they know we're going through a little bit of a rough time with a little bit of a sales lull with everything right now, and making sure that they're taking care of us as well, to make sure that they're purchasing a little extra right now as well.
Has there been much of a change in the day-to-day operations at the warehouse?
Yeah, day-to-day is definitely a little bit different. The order processing is a little bit different, to where instead of processing 45 orders on a daily basis, we're now typically processing 5 or 6 orders on a daily basis. So it's definitely changed. We are talking to a lot more shops on a regular basis. Unfortunately, it is typically a lot more to where it's like, yeah, not a lot going on, or we're having to have people call, bring their bike in for repair, call to pick it back up. And we're doing a lot more with the riders to try and help them really get the videos out, and really try and get the YouTube channel promoted, and try and keep everybody really active and having a lot of fun and keeping them interested on their bike. The Bike of the Week contest that we've been trying to promote has been a really cool thing. We're working with Fresh Park to try and do some cool things with their little start gates and with their little launch ramps, to try and keep people active at home, to where while you are at home on your stay-in shelter, hey, you know, you're supposed to be exercising, but you're not supposed to go anywhere. So, hey, these are some cool little options that you can have.
Have you got any new designs for any new products in the near future?
Got quite a few things going. I know there's a few people who have been sitting back while all this stuff's been going on and going, oh, they're getting a little scared. I mean, the one thing everybody needs to remember is that, as bad as this may seem right now, it will pass. We'll get through all this. So we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up. I mean, everybody's been pretty stoked with all of our retro stuff, the 6-bar stuff, the new version of the 450. Everybody's been really excited about that. We've been getting a lot of pre-orders for that. But the new Carbon Pro bars that we're coming out with, everybody seems to be pretty excited about those.
Oh, wait.
I'll send you.
That's new to me.
Yeah, I'll send you over some pictures. We just got the first ones out of the molds 2 days ago, and they're looking pretty good right now. So those, the new carbon stems, those are looking pretty nice.
Okay.
So the new carbon stem's looking to be really good. You know, 6-ounce carbon stem should be quite a treat.
Wow, you're not leaving much material apart from carbon on the box seals over there.
Well, here's the one thing. When you're talking about carbon, the carbon bars, most of the failures on the carbon bars have been because of the aluminum stem cutting into the carbon bar, and most of the failures on a carbon fork have been because of the aluminum stem cutting into the carbon steer tube, just because someone didn't take the time to put that extra little chamfer to take that sharp edge off. If you're using a good aluminum stem, you don't really have to worry about it, but a lot of them, they forget to put that little chamfer in. They don't take that little extra time. But if you're using a carbon stem on a carbon bar and a carbon fork, you don't have to worry about that. So if we can increase the strength and take out that worrisome part, it's definitely a win-win. And if we can reduce the weight and increase the strength while we're at it, hey, why not?
Wow. That's just about all we have time for this segment. So just one more thing. What would be the first thing you'll do once the whole COVID thing blows over?
Oh my goodness, get outside and ride. Get outside and just go get a good group of friends together, and it'll be nice to get, 20 or 30 of your buddies together and give everybody a big hug and just go for a ride. Just get out and just enjoy some time with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thanks for having me, Shane.
Yeah, what a great informative interview that was from Bill Ryan.
And you got to catch up with John Sawyer from SSquared Clayborn, didn't you?
Yes, a very interesting character, John Sawyer. We did, or I should say Shane did do a little bit of editing, and we seemed to manage to get about 45 minutes of talking and showing us his home and his cars and motorbikes and everything, down to something that's a bit more relative to the show. But yeah, so yeah, we have got a bit of an interview now with John Sawyer, and again, same with Bill and John. It's great that they've taken their time to express what's going on over in America, just to let us know, so we can let you viewers know what's happening all around the world, and that everything is okay at the moment. But yeah, let's cut across to John Sawyer and see what's happening in the world of Florida.
Okay, make sure you press the play button, Gary.
What play button?
No problem. No problem, man. No problem. But what I was saying was, we're the 2 weeks prior, things were 85% down. Seems like they picked up a little bit back this week, 65-70%.
Yep.
You know, something like that. It's a lot better this week. I think some people are getting just tired of sitting in the houses and working on their bikes and putting stuff back together. Some of the problems with everything being here, with the Worlds being here this year too, and all of that being canceled, it's just kind of put a dark cloud over everything to start with. Like, oh, here we go with that. But there's so many of the bike shops that they're allowed to be essential businesses and open, but some of the cities now are starting to shut them down as well too, because of the guidelines. Okay. So they're not allowing all of them to be open. The main problem here is 300 and some odd tracks, and I was told by Shannon from the ABA on Friday that there's 7 of them actually able to be open in the United States, and obviously 7 out of 300 and some odd tracks, however many there is, and no nationals, of course. Some more nationals just started getting canceled today. I saw Golden State Nationals, things like that. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get things fixed, but you know, I kind of feel that when it comes back, it'll come back pretty quick because of everybody being stir crazy and sitting around in the houses. And
it'll definitely bounce back quick.
Even if the kids don't want to go to the track and practice or go to the races and nationals, the parents are going to make them get out of my damn house.
Get out of my face.
I've seen enough of you for now, you know. So, but I think it'll come back pretty quick, because at the end of the day, it is one of the most inexpensive sports you can do on a national or even regional or local level. Yeah. There's not much more you can do. Some of the tracks around here in Florida still have $5 practice for 3 hours. What you can't even go to a movie no more for $5.
You know? Oh no, definitely not.
So I think it'll come back pretty quick and all of that. But you know,
yeah, it's amazing the situation that's going around at the moment, and the industries that are suffering, but it also could have a good clean out, get rid of a lot of cowboy operators and everything like that. So
agreed. The garage bandits with 30 grand to start a BMX company. Alibaba.com. I've talked to you know, a handful of the other 6 or 7 of the other brands here in the States, and they're down as much, if not some of them are up in the 90% ranges that they're down right now. So
exactly, and what you don't suffer from there is the exchange rate, which is very poor for us at the moment. So purchasing goods from overseas, because everything's based in US dollars. So with the dollar being at an 18-year low for us, it means that everything's more expensive to buy from overseas. So a lot of the Australian distributors and everything are trying to do what they can with the stock they've got, because it's just so expensive to replace it.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard that from a few others as well too, and everything. You know, back to back to the BMX stuff. I talked to a couple of ABA guys yesterday or the day before, and they've got scenarios ran like, okay, what if we can go back to racing as of May 1st? How are we going to do the national schedule? What if we can go back June 1st? They're basically taking it every 30 days, and they're getting scenarios down. Like, okay, we can put this at this date, because a lot of these places they're already got races scheduled for, and they'll move the contracts. But the problem is they usually have something in those every single weekend, and they're so booked up, and other people are canceling, and just on and on and on. Basically what their theory is, and it's, you got to look out for the bottom line, everybody now, but excuse me, they are taking and not going to do any more indoor races for at least until after Labor Day, because they unfortunately, they know Louisville, the old NBL Grands race, has to get moved because the Kentucky Derby's already moved back to that date on Labor Day weekend. So there's not going to be any hotels left in Kentucky, in Louisville whatsoever, with the Kentucky Derby there, if that can even go with all this. So they're just, it's a sitting and waiting game, and what do we do kind of thing.
Definitely. And like you said, the venues like that, you have to book a fair bit in advance. So they've got to make those rolling bookings just for if the trigger gets pulled and we can go back to racing, it's going to take them another 3 months to try and get into a venue. So,
definitely. And I think there's some, I think there was a little bit of talk, and I think what they're looking at is possibly even utilizing some of the, I'm just trying to think of something. Say New Orleans, for instance. There's a big arena there called the Lamar Arena that they go to all the time outside of south of Baton Rouge there, in between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. They, when I was talking to Shannon last Friday, even, he goes, we got Gretna, we got this track, we got that track. They're not going to be any smaller than the indoor builds that we're going to do anyways. So why not just utilize one of the local tracks in that area? It's not the best viewing like the arenas is for all the fans and the parents and stuff, but it's a lot less inexpensive for everybody involved. It's a lot quicker, and it helps those tracks put some more money in their pocket with their concession stands and 50/50s and things like that with all this going on. So, they're looking at that, and they go, within 3 weeks time, we could have a national at a track. If they didn't even know it was coming, call them 3 weeks later, we can have everything ready and there and do it, if we had to do it that quick. So
it's good that they got the foresight to have that all in place just in case. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, they're
That's fantastic.
Well, the other hard part to it is the Worlds being in Houston this year. That's the big headache.
Yeah.
How do you even figure that shit back out? Because that's between the city of Houston and the UCI. Then you've got this full national schedule that, where do you stick that? And everybody, it's not a unknown thing that UCI and ABA don't, none of them sanctions any of them. You put them all together, British Cycling, they all hate each other and stuff. So I'm sure UCI isn't so concerned that we're going to stick it on this date and mess up ABA nationals because of people not going to them for training for Worlds and not wanting to get hurt and things. So that's got to be just like walking a tightrope with the city of Houston, with UCI and ABA, to figure out and make that work and make everybody happy. And I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that.
Because the goalposts are moving all the time. It's not as if you got a fixed period that we're getting through this and everything else can be scheduled after it. It's just everything's just evolving as we go along, and it's all uncharted territory. So sounds like they're doing a good job in trying to get it organised.
Yeah. Trying to. It's just a factor that none of us know when shit's going to calm down and when it's going to revert and start receding a little bit with the number of people that are getting it, I guess, So, but yeah.
So what do you got new coming out, mate?
Well, the fork, finally the forks are going to be finished up April 21st. They're in the works. We have the 20 mil hubs and disc brakes. I think they've left a couple weeks back. So they should be on the way before too long. They had been on order. We had to make some adjustments. They had been on order. I want to say July or August. They had been on order. Maybe September, something like that.
People don't realize how long it takes to get things processed.
Well, I made some changes on that too. I held them up for a couple months on that because I almost went. You know what a Shimano center lock is?
Yep.
The removable disc adapter.
Yep.
I wanted to try to incorporate that into everything. So we had one hub and you take it off, put the spacer on, V-brake, pull it off, put the adapter on, disc brake. But getting that worked out for all these different, I mean, we've got about one of every model frame at the shop of manufacturers. I should say one of every brand. And here's the reason too, we spent so much time on it. Most everybody's at a 140 millimeter. This will work on a 120, no problem. I'm playing around with a 99 right now.
True.
So, I mean, that little thing, nice and little, almost looks like a little 9-tooth or something on a freestyle.
Tiny. Yeah. I mean, the 120s are small.
Yeah.
99 look crazy.
We're still working toward releasing the helmets, pants, and jerseys come October here. Everything got too hectic toward the end of the year to try to get it out for first of this season. So we just pulled the plug and we'll have that out September, October, pants, helmets, and jersey. We're working on that. Cool. Well, I appreciate the time, Gary. Good talking with you and everything. And
fantastic. I appreciate you making the effort to jump on Skype with us and have a chat about what's happening over the other side of the world.
No problem. Anytime, man.
Thanks, John. That was great. That was really cool. And yeah, like I said, there was a lot of editing had to be done there because he's a mountain of a man who just loves to talk. I've had a lot of experiences with John talking over the years, usually elbow to elbow at a bar somewhere. But yeah, he's a real character and larger than life in the world of BMX racing.
I got to say, well done on your first interview too, Gary. It was a good job.
Thanks, mate. I didn't realise it was my first interview, but yeah, all good.
And now on with Bruce from Lux BMX Race up in Queensland. And let's see how the coronavirus has changed the way they do things up there.
Hey, it's Bruce here from Lux BMX, sitting here in the shop today, bunkered down with a couple of my workmates.
Hey, Bruce. I hope everything's going well there. We just wanted to talk to you a little bit about COVID-19 and how it's sort of affected the bicycle industry. What are the current limitations in your area as far as restrictions with people walking in and that sort of thing?
Well, look, we've made the decision to close the shop front to the general public, but prior to this, we were nearly 80% online, probably a little bit over anyhow. So in terms of that, it really hasn't made a huge effect on how we operate. Got everyone working from home just about, only essential people here who pack, take the orders, and we're split up pretty well and got it running.
So what's your role? Are you packing or taking orders?
I'm just a good-looking front man of a race here at Lux BMX.
Lucky the doors are shut. So everything's operating full steam ahead and you're still able to ship products everywhere. There's no problems there.
Yeah, we're pretty right within Australia. Obviously, overseas is an issue for everyone at the moment. Not a huge market for us, but people jump on the website. They can certainly see the updates regarding shipping in their area or freight in their area. Freight's still moving around Australia okay, and we're still getting products everywhere we need to.
Have you noticed many changes on a day-to-day basis? Do you get a lot more phone calls or a lot more emails or anything like that?
We've got everyone set up on the customer service at the moment, so we have a pretty robust system in place. We can take calls, but we prefer online chat, where we can handle a few more customers that way, and they can get channeled to the right person and answer any of their questions.
What about your personal routine? Has it been a bit restrictive? You can't get down to the jumps and do some tapes?
No, I was ready for the Aussies, but now, we just back down and rewriting the plan and redo the spreadsheet.
What's the first thing you think you'll do once this is all over?
Look, hit the local track. The the councils up here have gone pretty hard, and like I have around Australia. And so, you know, life goes on. There's bigger things to worry about than, you know, being able to ride a BMX track, you know. So, you know, it is an outlet, mental health, physical, you know, health, but look, we'll get through this and out the other side, and we'll be okay.
All right. I guess thanks very much for your time, and good luck and stay healthy.
We'll do. Thanks for chatting to Lux BMX.
No worries.
Okay, thanks a heap for that, Bruce. Hopefully you're watching this, so you do realise we've said thank you. I'm sure you will.
Let him know when it goes live, so we'll do that.
Look, it's interesting times to see a shop that's as big and as popular as Lux BMX to have to shut their doors to the public. Like, they're still trading, as Bruce says, they're still pumping out their mail order. But for everyone's benefit, the staff there, the customers, they've restricted to appointment only. Anyone coming in to drop off a bike for a service, etc. But apart from that, they've shut their doors. Mighty doors they are too, being the fact that they're what is it, Hell's Angel?
Bike club, yeah.
Ex-bike club hangout. So yeah, the security there is phenomenal. So yeah, it's good to see that they're still trading and still pumping out BMX stuff all around Australia.
If you want to have a look through Lux, Bruce took us through just using his phone, I think it was. So there's some rough footage at the end of this video.
What was that? Group?
What's that?
Yeah, no, I just thought a funny noise. Yeah, look, it's great to get the insight there, and what we'll probably do, we'll probably look at having a bit of a walk around a couple of different stores as we move on through the next few episodes too, because that is handy for people around Australia. There's probably a lot of people who've purchased from Lux. They've got a big customer base, and they wouldn't have a clue what the shop looks like, because they just all they know is what their website looks like. So it's good to have that insight. So we'll probably expand on that a little bit and show you a few more stores moving forward. Ideas, man.